10 worst cities in Australia. Don't move there. What if I told you that some of Australia's most talked about destinations could actually become your worst nightmare? Today, we're diving deep into the 10 cities you should think twice about before packing your bags. But I must say, don't miss number 7 and number 2. Let's start with number 10. Number 10, Darwin, Northern Territory. Darwin might seem exotic with its tropical climate, but here's what the tourism boards won't tell you. This city has some of the most extreme weather conditions in Australia. During the wet season, which lasts from November to April, the humidity reaches suffocating levels of up to 90%, making simple tasks like walking to the shops feel like running a marathon in a sauna. The cost of living in Darwin is absolutely brutal. A basic grocery shop that might cost you $150 in Melbourne will easily set you back $250 here. Everything needs to be shipped in, and those costs get passed directly to residents. Housing isn't much better. Rental prices are among the highest in the country, yet you're getting far less value for your money. But here's the real kicker. Darwin has one of the highest crime rates in Australia, particularly for property crime and assault. The isolation doesn't help either. You're literally thousands of kilometers away from any other major city, which means limited career opportunities and a serious case of cabin fever for many residents. The job market is incredibly narrow, dominated by government work and mining. If you're not in one of these sectors, good luck finding stable employment. Many residents end up leaving within 2 years, unable to cope with the combination of extreme weather, high costs, and limited opportunities. Number 9, Mount Isa, Queensland. Mount Isa is often called the mining capital of the world, but that title comes with a dark side that most people don't see coming. This city sits on some of the richest mineral deposits on Earth, yet living here feels more like punishment than prosperity. The air quality in Mount Isa is genuinely concerning. The massive mining operations pump pollutants into the atmosphere 24/7, and residents regularly report respiratory issues. Children here have higher rates of asthma and other breathing problems compared to the national average. Imagine trying to raise a family in an environment where you're constantly worried about the air your kids are breathing. The social isolation is crushing. Mount Isa is over 900 kilometers from the nearest major city, Brisbane. That means limited access to quality healthcare, education options, and cultural activities. Many residents describe feeling trapped, especially during the scorching summer months when temperatures regularly exceed 40 degrees Celsius. Employment might seem stable with the mines, but it's a boom and bust cycle that can leave you unemployed overnight when commodity prices drop. The town's entire economy hinges on mining, so when that falters, everything else collapses with it. Housing is surprisingly expensive for what you get, and the lack of competition means you're stuck with whatever's available. The crime rate is also notably higher than the national average, partly due to the transient population and social pressures of isolated living. Number 8, Broken Hill, New South Wales. Broken Hill earned its place on this list through a perfect storm of economic decline and geographic isolation. Once a thriving mining town, it's now struggling to maintain relevance in modern Australia, and residents are paying the price. The population has been steadily declining for decades, which tells you everything you need to know about life here. Young people leave as soon as they can, creating an aging population with limited economic opportunities. The median age keeps rising, and with it, the town's viability as a place to build a future. Water security is a constant concern in Broken Hill. The town relies on pipeline water from hundreds of kilometers away, and during drought periods, which are becoming more frequent, residents face severe restrictions. Imagine not being able to water your garden or wash your car for months at a time. The isolation is extreme. You're 500 kilometers from Adelaide and almost as far from Sydney. Medical emergencies often require expensive helicopter evacuations to major cities because local facilities are limited. The cost of living is surprisingly high for such a remote location, mainly because everything has to be trucked in over vast distances. Employment opportunities are scarce outside of the remaining mining operations and basic services. The retail sector is dying as people increasingly shop online, and professional opportunities are virtually non-existent. Many residents work fly-in, fly-out jobs elsewhere, which defeats the purpose of living there in the first place. Number 7. Alice Springs, Northern Territory. Alice Springs sits in the heart of Australia, which sounds romantic until you realize what that actually means for daily life. This town faces unique challenges that make it one of the most difficult places to live in Australia, despite its iconic status. The crime statistics for Alice Springs are genuinely shocking. The assault rate is among the highest in Australia, and property crime is rampant. Many residents don't feel safe walking around their own neighborhoods after dark, and businesses regularly deal with break-ins and vandalism. The social issues are complex and deeply rooted, making quick solutions unlikely. The climate is brutal, scorching hot summers where temperatures regularly exceed 45 degrees, followed by surprisingly cold winters. The lack of humidity makes the heat feel even more intense, and the UV levels are dangerous year-round. Many residents develop serious sun damage and skin problems from the constant exposure. Employment opportunities are limited and largely centered around tourism and government services. The tourist season provides some jobs, but they're often seasonal and low-paying. Professional opportunities are scarce, and career advancement usually means leaving town. The cost of living is astronomical. Groceries cost 30 to 40% more than in major cities, fuel is expensive, and housing costs are high relative to local wages. You're paying city prices for basic goods while earning country wages, which is a recipe for financial stress. Medical services are limited, and serious conditions often require expensive medical evacuations to Adelaide or Darwin. Mental health services are particularly lacking, which is concerning given the social pressures of isolated living. Number 4. Port Pirie, South Australia. Port Pirie holds the unfortunate distinction of being one of Australia's most polluted cities, and the health impacts on residents are well documented and deeply concerning. Living here means constantly worrying about the air you breathe and the water you drink. The lead smelter that dominates the city's economy also dominates its health statistics. Children in Port Pirie have some of the highest blood lead levels in Australia, which affects their cognitive development and future prospects. Parents face the impossible choice between staying for work and protecting their children's health. The pollution isn't limited to lead. The air quality regularly fails national standards, and residents report higher rates of respiratory problems, skin conditions, and other health issues. The smell from industrial operations can be overwhelming, especially on hot days when the air is still. Employment opportunities are limited and largely tied to the industries causing the pollution problems. It's a cruel irony. The jobs that keep the town alive are slowly poisoning its residents. Many families feel trapped because leaving means unemployment, but staying means health risks. The healthcare system is overwhelmed dealing with pollution-related health issues. Specialists are rare, and serious conditions often require travel to Adelaide for treatment. The town's hospital struggles with higher than normal rates of respiratory and neurological conditions. Property values reflect the health concerns. Homes are cheap because buyers are wary of the pollution risks. But this creates a poverty trap where residents can't afford to leave because their properties are worth so little. Number 3. Gladstone, Queensland. Gladstone markets itself as an industrial powerhouse, but living there means dealing with constant noise, pollution, and health concerns that make daily life a challenge. The massive industrial complex that drives the economy also drives many residents to despair. The air quality is a constant concern. Multiple heavy industries operate around the clock, pumping emissions into the atmosphere. Residents regularly report burning eyes, throat irritation, and respiratory problems. The Queensland government has issued health warnings about air quality in Gladstone more frequently than almost anywhere else in the state. The noise pollution is relentless. Industrial operations run 24/7, creating a constant background roar that makes peaceful sleep difficult. Many residents report stress-related health problems from the constant noise exposure. Property values near industrial areas are suppressed because buyers understand the quality of life issues. The boom and bust economic cycle creates housing affordability crises during boom periods and unemployment during busts. During construction phases of major projects, rental prices skyrocket as temporary workers flood the area. When projects end, the economy crashes and residents are left with high costs but reduced incomes. The social fabric suffers from the transient population. During boom periods, the town is overwhelmed with temporary workers, straining infrastructure and services. Crime rates spike, traffic becomes chaotic, and local residents feel like strangers in their own town. Environmental concerns extend beyond air quality. The Great Barrier Reef is nearby, but industrial runoff and port operations threaten this natural wonder. Many residents feel conflicted about living in a place that's contributing to environmental destruction. Number 2. Katherine, Northern Territory. Katherine sits in crocodile country, and that's just the beginning of its problems. So there you have it, 10 Australian cities where dreams go to die. From Darwin's crushing costs to Tennant Creek's social breakdown, these places represent the harsh reality behind Australia's reputation as the lucky country. What do you think about these cities? Have you lived in any of them, or do you disagree with our rankings? Let us know your thoughts in the comments below, and tell us which Australian city you think deserves to be on this list. If you found this video eye-opening, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe for more brutally honest content about Australian living. Ring the bell icon so you never miss our latest videos that cut through the marketing hype to give you the real story. This town faces a unique combination of natural dangers, extreme weather, and social challenges that make it genuinely dangerous for many residents. The crime statistics for Katherine are among the worst in Australia. Assault rates are extraordinarily high, property crime is endemic, and many residents don't feel safe in their own homes. The police force is understaffed and overwhelmed. Response times are often slow, and repeat offenders cycle through the system regularly. The wet season brings genuine danger beyond just inconvenience. Flooding is regular and severe, cutting off roads and isolating the town for weeks at a time. Crocodiles become more aggressive during breeding season, and several attacks on humans occur each year. The combination of flooding and crocodiles makes some areas genuinely life-threatening. Employment opportunities are extremely limited. Government jobs dominate, but they're competitive and often temporary. The private sector is small and offers mostly low-skilled, low-paying work. Many residents work casual jobs with irregular hours and no job security. The social problems are complex and deeply entrenched. Alcohol-related violence is common, domestic violence rates are shocking, and mental health services are inadequate for the level of need. Many residents, particularly women and children, live in constant fear. Healthcare is limited and often inadequate. Serious medical conditions require evacuation to Darwin, which can be delayed by weather or transport issues. Mental health services are particularly lacking, despite the high levels of trauma and stress in the community. Number 1. Tennant Creek, Northern Territory. Tennant Creek takes the top spot as Australia's worst city to live in, and the statistics back up this unfortunate distinction. This town represents a perfect storm of every problem that can plague a remote Australian community. The crime rate in Tennant Creek is absolutely staggering. Assault rates are more than 10 times the national average. Property crime is so common that many businesses have given up and closed permanently. Residents regularly report feeling unsafe in their own homes, and many sleep with weapons nearby for protection. The alcohol problem is out of control despite various government interventions. Public drunkenness is visible everywhere, and alcohol-related violence occurs daily. The emergency department deals with alcohol-related injuries and trauma cases at rates that would shock people in major cities. Employment is almost non-existent outside of government services. The unemployment rate is among the highest in Australia, and many residents rely on welfare payments. The lack of economic opportunity creates a cycle of poverty and despair that's difficult to escape. The social problems are overwhelming. Domestic violence rates are horrific. Child welfare services are constantly overwhelmed, and many families live in crisis situations. The community has lost hope, and it shows in every aspect of daily life. Infrastructure is crumbling. Roads are in poor condition, water quality is questionable, and power outages are common. The town feels abandoned by higher levels of government, and residents often go without basic services that people elsewhere take for granted. Housing is substandard and overcrowded. Many properties are damaged and poorly maintained, but options are limited. The rental market is dysfunctional, with many properties sitting empty because owners can't find reliable tenants or can't afford repairs. Number 6. Coober Pedy, South Australia. Coober Pedy is famous for being an underground town, but what they don't tell you is that living like a mole person comes with serious psychological and practical challenges that most people can't handle long-term. The extreme climate forces residents underground for good reason. Surface temperatures regularly exceed 50 degrees Celsius in summer. But living underground isn't as romantic as it sounds. Many people develop vitamin D deficiencies and seasonal affective disorder from the lack of natural sunlight. The psychological impact of rarely seeing the sky during daylight hours affects residents' mental health significantly. The town's economy is entirely dependent on opal mining, which is essentially legalized gambling. You might strike it rich, or you might spend years digging holes and finding nothing. Most miners barely break even after accounting for equipment costs and living expenses. The boom and bust nature of the industry means financial instability is the norm, not the exception. Social services are minimal. There's one small hospital, limited educational opportunities for children, and virtually no entertainment or cultural activities. Families with children often struggle because kids need to be sent away for proper secondary education. The isolation is crushing. You're 50 kilometers from Adelaide, the nearest major city. Emergency services are limited, and getting proper medical care for serious conditions often requires expensive evacuations. Many residents describe feeling completely cut off from the rest of the world. Water is precious and expensive, trucked in from hundreds of kilometers away. Basic services that people take for granted in other cities are constant challenges here. Number 5. Whyalla, South Australia. Whyalla represents everything that can go wrong when a city puts all its economic eggs in one basket. This former industrial powerhouse is now struggling with massive unemployment, population decline, and limited future prospects. The city's economy was built around steel production, but as that industry declined, so did everything else. Unemployment rates are significantly higher than the national average, and good jobs are scarce. Many residents are trapped. They can't afford to leave because property values have collapsed, but staying means limited opportunities for their families. The environmental legacy of decades of heavy industry is visible everywhere. Air and soil pollution from the steelworks affects residents' health, and the cleanup will take decades. Many neighborhoods still deal with contaminated soil and groundwater issues that affect property values and residents' well-being. The population has been declining for years as young people leave for opportunities elsewhere. This creates a downward spiral. Fewer people means less demand for services, which leads to business closures and even fewer reasons to stay. The aging population puts additional strain on already limited healthcare services. Housing might seem affordable, but there's a reason for that. Property values have collapsed, and many homes sit empty for months or years. The rental market is depressed, which seems good for tenants but actually reflects the lack of economic opportunity in the area. Social problems are increasing as economic pressures mount. Crime rates are rising and community services are stretched thin. The sense of decline is palpable, and it affects residents' mental health and outlook on the future.